Hi, and welcome to our webcast for May 19, 2017. My name is Christian Debré, and this is Amy Asbrook, the director of Toujours Vivant, Not Dead Yet.
Hello.
Toujours Vivant, Not Dead Yet is a non-religion organization by and for people with disabilities and our allies. Our goal is to inform, unify, and give voice to the disability rights opposition to assisted suicide, euthanasia, and other ending of life practices that discriminates against people with disabilities. Today's topics: Québec's Collège des médecins, caution against death à la carte. Frequently asked question. That's the side good question. So Amy has worked with talk about it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We lost our place here. Okay. Québec's College of Medicine, Collège des médecins, cautions against death à la carte. In an article posted this week on the website of Québec's Collège des médecins, the group's secretary, Dr. Yves Robert, expressed his concern over a shift in attitude toward medical killing. So when the secretary writes, it's the opinion of the Collège des médecins. It's not just his opinion.
He doesn't have the right to write his own opinion. It's the opinion of the board.
Right, especially if it appears on their website. It's the opinion of the Collège des médecins. And it's good. This is an important victory for us because in Ontario, the Collège des médecins over there, College of Surgeons and Physicians.
Question is themselves.
Well, no, they are not defending a physician's right to refuse to perform euthanasia.
Yeah.
So it's good that the Quebec group is questioning this. Dr. Robert points out that the original goal of the law, the euthanasia law, was to provide medical care at the end of life, care which could, in exceptional cases, include euthanasia.
Yeah, but it's quite a sum of an exception with 450 killing in one year. It was supposed very, very few often.
Right.
So 450 is a lot more. That's a motorcycle guy who killed himself in 10 years.
Yeah. Yet recently, many people have invoked what they consider a right to assisted death following a diagnosis of severe or terminal illness, even before symptoms have become incapacitating. So that's the concern, that people are just getting their diagnosis and without even being ill, that they're requesting assisted suicide. And Quebec's law says that you have to be at the end of life.
Yeah, so few people starve themselves to be able to go inside the exception.
To be eligible.
Yeah.
Despite more than 450 euthanasias in the province during the first year, Quebec society has faced the, quote, brutal, unquote, fact.
And remember,
that because of eligibility criteria, some people who request it are refused assisted death.
Yeah, you have to remember that 450 is the only direct euthanasia. Palliative sedation doesn't count. So double the number. 900 people or more had been killed last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So while medical aid in dying was reserved for people who are suffering, said Dr. Robert, we now hear people demanding a form of death à la carte. Is this really what we want from our society?
Yeah, they think about it now, about the law, the applying, the way they apply the law.
Right.
Why they doesn't have think of it before? Because we know that fact since many years. Okay?
Right. We knew that this would happen, and they somehow didn't know it would happen. And then it's happening. It's way more people than they thought. And now all of a sudden they're thinking, hey, wait a minute, this isn't quite what we bargained for.
Yeah.
So
and they're kind of surprised. Why it's happening?
Right. Is this what our society really wanted?
Yeah.
And that's the question. And that's a very good question because.
Now we could start the discussion about it.
Right, exactly.
Too late, but we start.
Right. Dr. Robert questions the usefulness of opening up access to assisted death when there will always be some people who will be found ineligible. So there's always going to be some people
Whatever
who don't
was
fall
the
within the eligibility criteria.
yeah, the criteria.
Right. He laments the paradox of demanding protections from abuse on the one hand, while at the same time asking doctors to behave as if there are no limits on access to assisted death.
Which is not true.
Right.
It's impossible.
Well, it's a contradiction, and yet people in the last few months have been saying, why shouldn't these people have assisted death? Well, they weren't eligible under the law.
Yeah.
And that's the reason. And, there's always going to be people who are ineligible.
Whatever the criteria.
Right, exactly. He further criticizes politicians, pundits, and the media for denouncing the refusal to provide euthanasia and supporting death à la carte. So the article goes on to suggest that such a model, that death à la carte, would remove medical care and medical judgment from the equation, creating a system like that in Switzerland, where assisted suicide is provided by private organizations.
Yeah, you just have to bring the right amount of money, and anybody could be killed in Switzerland.
Right.
You ask to this place and say, I'm tired to live, and they will kill you.
Right. Right, exactly. It's basically you pay and you die.
Yeah.
Dr. Robert concludes, what's striking after the first year of application of this law which is recognized as being a major opening, is the rapidity with which the public opinion to have judged this opening insufficient. He expresses disbelief that society has already reached this conclusion, while we have not fully assimilated either the application of the current provisions or its consequences.
We agree with him, but we open a Pandora box.
Right.
So it's open or closed. It's not half open, a third open. Doesn't work that way.
Right.
You open the box, so it's go everywhere.
Right. We knew
Or
that.
you close the box.
We knew that beforehand. So now he's realizing, or the doctors are realizing that this has created a problem, and that you can't, somebody's always going to get left out and somebody's always going to complain. But, and do we really want to rush into allowing more and more people to have assisted suicide? He's also talking about this idea that if you take medical care out of it, then you just get, people doing it for money. And doctors shouldn't even need to be involved with that. Doctors don't need to be involved.
It's really a kind of relatively simple procedure, which is not 100% safe. There's nothing in the life 100% safe.
Right.
It's impossible.
Right.
But in Switzerland, there is professional killer. That's their job. If that we want, I don't know. We have to discuss about it.
Right, exactly. So essentially what he's saying is we need to slow down. We need to stop and look at what we've done already and realize that we've opened something that we can't close or may not be able to. We certainly can't stop it, or we can't stop it without going all the way back.
Yeah, we have to close the box completely.
If we just try to stay somewhere, somebody's always going to be unhappy. So either we need to close it or just, somebody's always going to complain.
Yeah, somewhere the criteria could be the long nose or long feet or short feet, whatever.
Right.
If you have a long nose, you are eligible. No long nose, you are not eligible. And somebody will complain.
Right, exactly. So, but his concern is that, if we're talking about this as medical care, which that's what they proposed, then it should be medical care done by doctors who would get to decide who's eligible or who's not, and that the public shouldn't say, well, everybody's eligible if they want it. It's essentially what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, our next topic is frequently asked questions, and the question is, we know assisted suicide already happens. If we don't regulate it, won't we end up with a macabre specialty of assisted suicides with no safeguards at all?
It's already happening.
Right, exactly. This macabre specialty already exists. Legalization has done nothing to stop it. For example, 75% of deaths in Oregon are guided by people from Compassion and Choices, who refer people to doctors based on their willingness to the doctor's willingness to prescribe lethal drugs, not their relationship with the patient or their experience or compassion. So if people in Oregon call up Compassion and Choices, and they might say, I need to talk to a doctor who will give me assisted suicide. So the idea was supposed to be that the doctor would know the person for a long period of time and be able to make a judgment about the person's decision to have assisted suicide. But if people are being referred to doctors who automatically are going to prescribe lethal prescriptions, then that relationship is gone, and there's no incentive. There's no basis of understanding for the doctor to make a decision, and there's no incentive for the doctor to not prescribe the lethal drugs.
Except the money.
Right, exactly. In Belgium, Dr. Wim Distelsman performs a large percentage of the euthanasia in that country, even as he holds the position of chair of the Belgian Commission on Evaluation and Control of Euthanasia. And this is a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it's obvious, but he keep this job for a long time now, and nobody seems to say, hey, there is conflict over there.
Right.
No, people die, and when people are dead, okay, they are dead.
Right, and it's not surprising that there have never been any, no one has ever been criticized for wrongly carrying out a euthanasia.
It's kind of understandable,
Right.
Bill, because a family which is mourning somebody is not in a position to say, hey, something happened wrong, and we will do procedure and things like that, going to police. No, they just say, okay, this guy was sick, and maybe he's better over there. There is a paradise for somebody, or whatever comforting phrases. Okay?
Right, families aren't going to want to bring up this case if the person's already dead. There's nothing they can do for the person at this
They will
point.
not bring him back, so
Right.
they just leave it like that.
Right, and the fact that Dr. Distelsman is head of this commission that evaluates euthanasia,
There is no
there aren't
problem.
going to be any problems.
Yeah, everything going fine in Belgium.
Right.
Everything is right. No trouble at all.
Right, exactly.
That's not exactly true, but the commission see it like that.
Right. Another example of this macabre specialty is the Final Exit Network, which has faced criminal charges in situations where exit guides held people's hands down to prevent them from tearing the plastic bag off their heads to stop their assisted suicides.
Yeah, at the last moment, somebody say, no, I doesn't really want to die. I will try to just remember the bag, remove the bag.
Right.
They stop the action of the people to stop their suicide and kill him.
Right.
It's a murder,
Right.
an obvious murder.
Right. People have been prosecuted for that.
Yeah.
Also, the Dignitas clinic that we mentioned in Switzerland will help pretty much anyone from anywhere kill themselves. They don't have a lot of limits. And again, it's
Easy, clean. If you want to do it, take a plane. It's kind of cheap going to Switzerland. Okay,
Right.
less than $1,000, and I don't know their fare, but it's something around $10,000. So for $11,000, which is plus or minus the cost of
Burial.
a burial, you will be killed.
Right, exactly.
Your weight,
Right.
your time.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You're dead.
Right. So another example of this macabre specialty is the Dutch government provides mobile euthanasia units to make house calls. So whether or not you can get home care to help you live independently on your own terms, you can certainly get help to die.
Oh yes, easy. You will be dead, sure, but to be followed and care, not really.
Not necessarily. And that's certainly true in Canada, where it's very difficult to get home care, and people are more likely to be put in an institution than get home care. And that's a priority of, that's a misplaced priority of government, because it's really,
it's a business, okay?
right. It's cheaper to have people live in their homes, but governments still pay to put people in nursing homes.
They receive pressure from
Right.
this business
Right,
to keep it that way. And this is not really good.
right, exactly. And finally, the Farewell Foundation specifically cites suffering as a result of disability as a reason for suicide. So again,
That's
go ahead.
absolutely afraid. It's
Frightening.
frightening, okay? It's difficult to understand, but it makes me completely afraid. The way it's done, it's very difficult because frightening, it's not a matter of thinking, it's a matter of a sentiment,
Feeling.
feeling. It's only feeling, okay? And feeling doesn't have any logical thing. It's a feeling. So I don't know why people have the opposite feeling. Be afraid of not dying.
Right.
I don't understand, because everybody will die, whatever it happens. And with palliative care, you are, if you have access, that's a trouble, okay? If you have access, you are 100% sure to have a reasonable death, okay? No, not 99%, 100% chance to have a reasonable death. Doesn't mean that you will die with a smile on your face. Nobody will like it, but you will have a reasonable death. But people are afraid of not dying.
Right. People are afraid of becoming disabled.
Yeah.
And that is the fear that motivates the assisted suicide movement.
And there is no logical base about it.
Right. It's fear of a difference, and it's fear of disability. And people have that fear because they're ignorant about what it means to be disabled.
Yes.
So, okay. For more information about the subjects that we talk about here, you can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/toujourvivant, not dead yet, all one word. Visit our website at tvndy.ca. You can email us at info@tv-ndy.ca, or you can follow us on Twitter @TVNDY. Thanks to Christian for helping out.
Thank you, Amy.
Thanks to you for being there, and we will see you next time.
See you next time. Take care. Bye.